All right, we are live. Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Drew. This is Heath.
Hello.
Whichever
Hi.
direction I'm pointing in, I can't know right now because I'm trying to share
Welcome.
this out. Heath, what's going on this week?
Dude, it's been a pretty slow week. Nothing too crazy. Um, Chilling with the family. Nothing too wild, man. I've been playing this stupid game
What's that?
on Xbox. Oh man, it's called Peggle.
Oh yeah,
Have you ever heard of it?
Peggle?
Yeah. Dude, have you ever heard of it?
Oh
Peggle?
yeah, dude. I know
Dude,
Peggle.
it's like the dumbest game, but it's so fun. It's so addicting, and it's like pachinko,
Oh yeah.
but it's not like,
It
oh
takes
man.
skill, but it also takes a tremendous amount of
Yeah.
luck.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
drop a ball. You just drop a
yeah.
ball and you hope for the best. So
It's really one of the only times that you can, hopefully drop the ball in a good
that's
way, I
right.
think.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dude. So I've been peggling it up.
Peggling it
That's
up.
been good. I haven't watched too much TV. I've been sort of busy, but it's been a good week. I had my son's 5th birthday, which was fun. We had a
All
Star
right.
Wars party, and I
Nice.
dressed up like Kylo Ren, which was fun for a
Did
little
you?
bit. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun, but in Florida heat, it's like,
Ugh.
daddy's gonna take the dress off now, son.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna wear
You have the
my
whole
robe.
helmet and everything?
My robe. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, good for
I
you,
go all out.
Super
So,
Dad.
you know,
Good for you, Super Chief.
I have that. I have a few costumes. I have that one, and like I have a Thor one that doesn't fit anymore.
Okay.
I have a Captain America one that doesn't fit anymore. I have-
Well, you
You
can
know,
you can hand them down, and then they'll be like vintage costumes.
that's right. That's
when your
right. They're
kids are
just
ready
like
to wear them.
they're all spandex.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I mean,
They never
fit.
really fit in the first place.
I mean, let's be real. They fit.
Yeah. Nobody's bodybuilding over here.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Well, the Thor one's nice because it's got like the built-in
No,
ab.
the build. Yeah.
That's
Makes
what
you
you
feel a
want.
little bit more secure as
Yeah,
a
but
man,
nobody's
for
fooled.
sure.
Nobody's fooled, Drew. They know. They
No,
know
they
those
know.
aren't my. You know.
No, I
They
mean,
know.
maybe one or two people might have been fooled, like by a glance, like looking like, oh, is that guy?
I'm just
Oh,
walking by some guy and they're like,
yeah. That dude,
"Dang,
that dude means business. No,
he's
he
ripped."
doesn't. He doesn't mean business at all.
Is that guy the God of Thunder? Is that really him?
Yeah, is
That's what
that?
I think. But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
so yeah, it's been pretty chill. What about you?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I got some good news.
Ooh,
My disability through the VA was approved, and
I
that
saw that.
ultimately means that I can be fully retired, and not have
Oh,
to,
how good does that
work.
feel?
It's good. It's a little surreal, man. It's I mean, it. Here, I'll be honest with you, man. This is kind of one of the things that
Are you
happens. So,
bored? I always feel like I'd be bored.
no, you just got to find a routine, find a
Yeah,
routine, find the things that you like to do.
yeah,
The store really does keep me pretty busy. I mean, that's a big
yeah.
piece of my day. Shipping comics and getting stuff sorted out and all that. But
Truth.
so no, it's interesting though, because I know, like, I'm kind of weird psychologically, like, um, but I've always said, you a hobby is a hobby until it starts to feel like work, and then it's not a hobby
Yeah,
anymore. And
yeah,
it really, so when I started the store, it started as a hobby, and before I found out about my disability, it was starting to feel like work, because I was really starting to feel like, oh my goodness, like my family's ability to eat and have a safe place to stay
yeah.
depends on my working harder and harder and harder. And so then it started to feel, for a couple weeks, it was like, this feels like work. It doesn't feel like a hobby anymore. And but now that everything is resolved, the comics feel back to being a hobby again. So I enjoy it. So it's good.
Nice, dude.
So
That's
hey,
awesome.
Loosener, what's up, man?
Christopher, hello, sir. Hans
Hans
Lucian.
Loosener is in the
Who was
house.
that guy in chat? And you were like, you were calling him something. Oh, Romulo.
Yes,
Great, dude. Where are these names coming from? Romulus and
Romulo. Yeah,
Romulo.
we got Hans. We
You
got
got
Gator.
Hans.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
It's amazing. Good,
So
dude. That's awesome. It's good to hear.
yeah, so it's good. So I can put a lot more effort, into this, into the show,
Yeah.
and feel, like I have the financial freedom to do this. Because, people, unless, you get syndicated as a podcast, you're just doing stuff for entertainment for other folks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only reason that we're doing
That's
this.
our goal one day here is to eventually we need to get sponsored ASAP.
Yeah. I knew I had a friend that had a podcast, and he got sponsored by Bacon Salt, which was funny. But at the end of the day, it's still a sponsor.
Yeah.
So
and everybody loves baking salt, right?
right? Yeah, I
Who
mean,
wouldn't want to be sponsored by baking salt?
yes.
if you're listening right now, baking salt.
Soup.
Delicious baking salt. Wait, like soup? Like, what do you do with baking salt? Just pretend like they're not listening at this point. Do you actually cook with it? What do you?
No, you've been saying it wrong the whole time, and I was waiting to correct you, but I said bacon salt, as
bacon salt.
Yeah, bacon salt.
So I thought you were saying baking salt.
It's like a different type of flavoring that you can use on bacon to add, like like
make bacon taste more, to make it taste more better.
More better, like I don't know, like Doritos Locos bacon, maybe.
What's on the agenda, Lucy? I don't know. You tell us. What's on the agenda? What are we talking about? Bacon salt right now.
Bacon salt, and hopefully getting sponsored at some point. That's be great.
Incredible, dude. What is something else that you can make taste better that's already really good?
I don't know. Usually more salt tastes good on McDonald's fries.
That's true.
So
that's a very old, like my generation, I guess our generation is sort of like no bacon, like no salt. You know what I mean? Right. Like it's like we knew like, okay, salt's bad for you.
Right.
But my wife's grandfather used to take salt, like a pinch of salt, put it in his mouth, and then eat whatever he was eating.
It's fair.
Like he would take the salt shaker and go like that, and then eat whatever. And like not. And my dad to this day will be like, let me get the salt real quick. And I'm like, you haven't even tasted the food. Yeah. Like it could literally be doused in salt, and he's gonna want more.
Yeah, I love salt.
On the bacon salt, he wants more bacon salt.
So. Yeah, everybody. That's why there is a thing called bacon salt.
Who wouldn't want bacon salt? Bacon salt's delicious.
Yeah, bacon salt's awesome. Hashtag bacon salt. Hashtag bacon salt. Salt it up. That bacon. Cool. I'm actually feeling pretty hungry right now.
Says salt is absolutely fabulous. It's going to be the death of me one day. Yeah, dude, salt. It's not gonna be good. That's the thing, dude, Lucner. I had to quit Coca-Cola. I remember the day like when I was like,
that's too bad.
That's probably it. And the reason I quit Coca-Cola was because I saw some YouTube video. You've probably seen this, Drew, where the guy like boils it down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen this?
Yep.
And it's just like sludge.
Yeah.
And I thought probably time. That's probably
you can use Coke. You can use Coke to clean things too.
That's right.
You can legit use it to like clean toilets and pipes and metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is something.
Well, that's why I drink Coke Zero.
Me too. I drink Coke Zero.
Yeah, and the new Mountain Dew Zero is really good too. I don't know if you tried that yet.
No, I have not.
I've also heard or seen that there. I don't know if you drink energy drinks. I'm a big Bang fan. So Bang has a new crispy cinnamon apple or something like that flavor. Yeah, so I haven't tried that one yet, but I saw somebody posting about it. So
I could try. Yeah, I haven't tried Bang. I've seen it. I'm like a classic Red Bull guy. Like I'll have Red Bull.
Sure.
I'll have a Monster every once in a while.
It gives you wings. Why wouldn't you want it?
Yeah, I'm more of just coffee. Like I drink coffee at 8:00 and I drink coffee at 3:00, and that usually gets me going, gets me through. But isn't it true that energy drinks, like in the military, everybody drinks?
Oh yeah,
energy drinks.
Oh yeah,
and that's totally true. Yeah. Everybody I know who drinks energy drinks is military guys.
Yeah, we.
So I don't know what that says, but you guys are tired. You work hard.
Well, and now that I look more like an operator, I can talk about it.
That's right.
When I was on SEAL Team 6, we're just pounding monsters and Red Bull day after day after day. Charlie shooting at us, got the yellow fever and the Agent Orange.
When you're killing Osama, you need a Bang energy drink to get you through the tunnel.
Nothing like. There's a reason they call it a flash bang, because it's bang.
You got the dog sitting there chugging. You got the SEAL Team 6 dog chugging a Bang before he goes in the tunnel and pulls out Soleimani crying, or who was the guy that Trump was like?
Soleimani.
He was entering like a baby. He was crying. He was Gaddafi. Or was it Gaddafi? It was somebody who was he was crying like a baby. He's crying like a baby. Terrified, scared. There's something I was going to say a second ago.
No, I think you've said it.
Come back to me. No. It'll flow back to my brain.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about energy drinks. So basically, in fact, there was one of the mess halls in the they call it a DFAC in Africa, but they were giving basically you could just drink unlimited Red Bull. They had Red Bull cans just
Oh
in
man,
in a refrigerator, and people just drank them.
dude, that's legit.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to be in Africa, I suppose Red Bull is the best that you can get.
Right. Gives you
But
wings.
yeah, I mean, well, see, a lot of us, so military, a good majority of military are shift workers.
Yeah.
And we're talking 12-hour shifts. And which ultimately turns into about a 14-hour shift. So there's energy drinks and tobacco is just that's all we do.
What I was going to say was, again, my dad was talking about Coke Zero because we had this conversation. And he was talking about Coke Zero. He's like, oh, yeah, I heard, I got this new Coke Zero vanilla cherry something.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and I said, at what point are we playing God with Coke? With Coke, like, yeah, I got a Coke Zero vanilla, 0 calories, extra sugar, no sugar. Cherry, vanilla, and they're just adding flavors on. They think we're not gonna.
I just want to
catch on.
I just want to make sure that you understand that we didn't have that when we had Obama. All right.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Understand what Trump brings us. He brings us multiple flavors of Coke Zero.
That is true. There was just
Mountain Dew Zero, dude. Like, we got Mountain Dew Zero because of Trump.
Right.
Obama didn't care about Mountain Dew Zero. In fact, look at what Chris Christie was trying to do in New York, taking away sodas and
it was like
blocking bridges.
You mean Bloomberg?
No, Bloomberg's, that's a whole other story.
Chris Christie was New Jersey, right?
Same thing.
He's the bridge guy.
Lost half of the audience. He's the bridge guy.
There's too many people. There's too many people to remember. We have to remember them by their gaffes or by their horrible mistakes. I knew Chris Christie.
He was the fat guy. Fat bridge guy, yeah. But didn't he do something with sodas too, or was that Bloomberg?
Probably. I don't know. Bloomberg did the straw thing.
Yeah.
But, Bloomberg is actually, he's a testament because it's one of those things where your parents are always like, money can't buy you happiness. Money can't buy you everything. And Bloomberg's like, it's about to buy me an election.
It's about
literally,
Yeah.
And you think, and you go, surely just putting a bunch of ads on TV wouldn't force people to vote for you. And Bloomberg's like, no, it's actually working. It's working quite well.
Well, there from a marketing standpoint, I think it's working. I don't think
it's
Lucener's a huge fan. He's a huge fan of Chris Christie. But no, what was I gonna say? The
marketing something.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bloomberg, from a marketing standpoint, I think is doing very well. I don't think that matters though. I don't. The only thing it's doing is, excuse me, he's buying his way into the DNC. He's buying his way to get a seat at the table to debate. But there is, I mean,
you're right.
I don't think that there is any person. I mean, I would go Bernie all the way before Bloomberg. I mean, Bloomberg that guy does not. I've never seen somebody that is so completely out of touch. I mean,
he might.
Yeah, I mean,
dude, the funny thing is, I love the memes where he's like, he's already, he's talking about having Hillary as his running mate.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like the only guy to voluntarily invite suicide.
Yeah.
And the Hillary putting up the tweet of her. She said, she's like, I regret to inform everyone that Michael Bloomberg has committed suicide or something. It's like too early. Early.
Oops, let that one out. Let that one slip a little too early.
So good.
Yeah.
If I were the Clintons, I would play that up, dude. I'd be like, oh yeah, ha ha ha. I'd joke around about it because then that would throw people off the trail.
No, they should. They should go on. What they really should do is go on SNL and do a skit about suicides, like celebrity suicides, and then make them like plotting, and make it funny so that it changes the narrative for.
They laugh it up.
Yeah, laugh it up. Hey, this is what we're really doing. So, so I saw Blumhouse's Fantasy Island.
Yeah. Tell me about that. I usually love Blumhouse, but you were saying it's not.
Man,
not the one.
It wasn't terrible. It's a rent. It's
okay.
It's. I think actually somebody said it best. I think it was Andrew Morrow actually said it on my post best, but it's something that you would expect. It's the production level where Netflix is at now, where you are surprised that it's Netflix and you're like, oh, wow, this is really good. Like The Witcher, right?
Sure.
Great production level. So that's what this felt like. It could have done very well on Netflix.
Yeah.
But to release big screen, very strange, considering uh, Maggie Q and
Yeah.
what's his name, Michael Pena. Um,
Who I love.
yeah, and he's great, and I normally love him too. But and the whole thing, like, it was completely past me that this was a remake of the Fantasy Island television show.
Oh, I
It
didn't
was.
know that.
I
I
thought
thought
it
it
was.
was more like Dr. Moreau, like Island of Dr.
No, no, this is the
Okay.
Fantasy Island. So, and what gave it away? Well, remember the most famous saying from Fantasy Island was when Tattoo would come and he'd come running in and he'd be like, "The planes, boss, the planes."
Yeah.
So that's kind of what when that happens, and there's not a little dude in there like that, so
I was
it's
gonna
not
say,
like
is Tattoo in that or no?
he's
Okay.
not, but there is a huge nod to Tattoo, and you'll see it, when you eventually
Yeah.
watch it. But
Yeah.
so the whole thing started really kind of cool, and then um, I expected, because it's Bloomhouse, I expected there to be like a major, like a huge twist that I really didn't see coming.
Yeah.
Because that's how Bloomhouse has been for me.
Sure.
Um, but this one was it was very underwhelming. The twist was, and then it was kind of like, all right, well then, now that I know this fact about the story, now I go back and I'm like, oh, there's a lot of plot holes. There's a lot of
Yeah.
things that didn't make sense. So, uh,
Yeah. When I watched the trailer, it was like
yeah,
it looked like one of those that I was like, okay, this could be good. And I saw
yeah,
Bloomhouse, and I generally like their stuff.
yeah,
But then by the end, I was like, well, there's monsters. Like I didn't know which way it
yeah,
was going, so I was like,
yeah,
I'm gonna have to wait on that one. I like a trailer to give me a clear direction of at least
yeah.
some idea of what's happening. Like, okay, whether I'm gonna buy it or not. So
Yeah, and and it was weird too, because some people played out their fantasies longer, and it took them a little bit longer to figure out that it was,
yeah,
something was weird about it. And then there was just, there's always there's always an agenda. There's an agenda in there. There's just there's a normalizing of things,
sure,
in modern, uh, you know, pop culture anyway. So there's that,
yeah.
which is frustrating and dumb, but it was
I'll
a
rent it.
yeah, it was a rent. It was a rent.
See, I love horror films. I just
I do
watched the
too.
other
This one was
day.
not scary though.
What I'll do is I'll find something that I like, and I'll just kind of fast forward to the good parts again, just to recap.
Right,
And
sure.
I found Cabin in the Woods on Hulu, which one of my
I
favorite.
love Cabin in the
I
Woods.
just love it, and the reason
Yeah,
I love it is because I never watch a horror movie now the same, because I think like, oh, this is just some jerk sitting in a computer room manufacturing this whole,
right.
I mean, if you haven't seen Cabin in the Woods, if you're watching this or listening to this, you need to go see Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie.
It's fantastic, and you wouldn't think, like, even the title of it is so generic because it wants you to feel like, oh, this is just like any other normal horror film, and it's
Yep,
absolutely not. It explains every horror film you'll ever see in your entire life
yep,
and why everybody does what they do so foolishly.
yep.
So, anyways, that was a good. And then I was watching Matrix Reloaded. Apparently, I
Mm.
found out I've been married to my wife, 7 years now. She's never seen Matrix 2 or number 3.
Wow,
Had no clue. And so
wow.
I was fast forwarding through number 2,
Yeah,
showing her the best parts and kind of explaining the lore to her, because I realized I'm a nerd and I know the lore
there's
of
a lot
Matrix.
of lore of the Matrix. Yeah,
Yeah. But it made me sort of fall back in love with the number 3 is, whatever. Say what you want about it. It's fun. There's still some great moments. So,
yeah.
and what they did at the time, I mean, they were like, had you ever seen Bullet Time tech, like that
No, no,
camera?
that was all brand
It was
new.
all brand
The whole
new.
3D camera thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That
It was
whole thing's
killer. I
brand new.
mean, and I'm sitting there explaining like, oh yeah, the humans are in pods and they're these robots. I mean, it's just such a
Right.
cool freaking concept. It's just so neat. And so, like I said, number 3, whatever you want to say about it, but man, that was cool
The
what
whole
they.
trilogy was good, and I'm excited. The Wachowski now sisters,
Yeah, the
apparently, because
sisters,
they've both
the siblings.
transgendered. Um, but they're doing a 4, and
Yeah.
Carrie, not Fisher, obviously. Carrie Trinity,
Yes, I know what you're saying.
whatever,
What's her
and
last name?
I don't remember now. Somebody's gonna
Oh,
tell us and correct us, but
yeah, exactly.
she and Keanu are on board. So
Dude,
um,
I'm a Keanu fan. All right.
aficionado,
I'm an
aficionado.
aficionado. I am an
I'm a
apologist.
Keanu
If somebody
aficionado.
comes at me and they're like, he plays the same character, I'm like, shut your mouth, bite your
Yeah,
tongue. It's the
that's
same
that
character, but
person
it's
is not worthy of
nuanced.
respect.
Every single character is nuanced.
He's
So
got. I mean, they're deep. Yeah, they're
he's
deep.
deep. You know, if you go back in his catalog, there's this film I used to watch as a kid called Babes in Toyland.
Hmm.
You ever seen this one, Babes in Toyland?
I'm sure I have. Yeah.
And Keanu's in it with
Hmm.
Drew Barrymore, a young Drew Barrymore,
Hmm.
and he sings. Now he sings horribly,
I
but
would expect Keanu
just
to sing
one
horrible.
more facet
Yeah.
of the the diamond that is Keanu Reeves. We're just years from
He's-
now we'll look back and we'll just observe what he was, and we'll
Yeah.
we'll admire. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's one of the best, really.
one of
Just
the best.
great guy.
Speaking of, oh yeah, go ahead.
Have you watched any Letterkenny yet?
No, I passed by it. Last night, and I was like, oh, I should
man.
watch this, but it was like 10 o'clock, and
Yeah,
I have to get in that mode, like that zone.
Yeah, it's a 20-minute. I mean, they're 20-minute episodes. The first one is a really good one to get you the feel for it.
I will. I'll jump in.
Yeah,
because I bet I'd like it. I've seen trailers for it, and I laugh.
Yeah, it's pretty crude. I mean, there are some crude moments. My wife was watching kind of from a distance, and she was like, "Oh, that's kind of." I was like, "Yeah." She was judging me from a distance, but I'm used to that anyway. I do what I want.
Our wives are judging
us. They are judging us from a distance, and sometimes from a close, sometimes right in my face. Yeah,
that's our whole life. Just wives judging.
So Thursday, I'm taking my wife and my brother-in-law and his wife to see Jim Gaffigan.
That'll be awesome, dude. That'll be great.
The Pale Tourist Tour. Yep.
He's great, man. I've followed him since like the beginning, since his when Hot Pocket.
Oh yeah.
He was just getting started. I guess that I say just starting out, but he was before that. But that was like
I was watching him when he was on the show that was like The Boys or something like that. My Boys.
Yeah, that's right. That's crazy. Yeah, Jim Gaffigan is he's one of those enigmas. Like one of those weird comedians that has survived for so long, stayed popular, and he's fairly clean. Yeah. I mean, he's sort of admired by all.
Yeah, and his shtick, and he hasn't changed up his shtick. It's the same.
Yeah,
and it works.
Fat and white and pale. He's white and pale, and
he loves food.
Yeah, that's right. Dude, that'll be fun. You'll have to recap that. That's awesome, man.
Oh yeah, I'm very, very excited. We were at I took my daughter to see Sesame Street live a few weeks ago, and it was good. It was fun. I mean, she's 4. She sat. She was more happy about the snow cone that I bought her. But anyway, so when I was sitting there, I saw on the screen, and because it's the same arena, they're like Jim Gaffigan on the 20th, and I was like, ooh. So I just went ahead and bought the tickets. I knew my wife would go, and with being retired, dude, I literally can just drop what I'm doing and go do whatever I want to do. So
when I first took my son to his first movie, I thought, oh man, this kid is I'm gonna be the best dad ever. He's gonna love it. He's gonna think it's just be blown away.
Yeah. And
he literally eats his snacks. He sucks down his Slurpee, and he looks at me and goes, "We ready to go? Like, can we leave?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
All right, so for the first few movies of his life, he wanted to bail, and so but now he loves movies. Now I'll sit through them, but I'm always thinking about that as kids. Like I was looking at my wife, I'm like, are we end up paying a lot of money for this and leaving, or let's weigh the cost here. So
I had one tickets to see Counting Crows when I was in Jacksonville, and so I took my son because I had another ticket, and he was maybe 9. Yeah. Maybe 9 or 10. So I took him with me, and he was excited. He liked to hear the band play and everything, and it was cool, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah. And he was talking about wanting to play the drums. Well, this lady that was sitting, it was a very small venue too. This lady that was sitting in front of us, she's like, "Hey, my brother's the drummer for the opening band. If your son wants to come back and meet Adam Derwitz and the Crows, after the show, we can make that happen." I was like, "Oh wow, this is cool," because I've loved the Counting Crows. Like, they were my first CD that I ever owned.
Yeah.
But my son, being 9 or 10, by about the fourth or fifth song, he was like, "Dad, I want to go home," and it crushed me to say, "All right, buddy, let's go." And we went home, man. But that was rough.
Well, I think when I can't remember, my son was born. I think he was born. We had a babysitter, but I had bought Marvel Live tickets for my wife and I.
Nice.
And it's like Big Bird, like you were saying, Big Bird, but with Marvel characters.
Yeah.
And they do sweet stunts, and I mean, it was freaking awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But it was cool. Like, and all these kids are around, and my wife and I are sitting there like, adults like, like, oh, where's our kids at? Oh no,
they're still in the bathroom.
We're not here by ourselves. No. But that, dude, if you ever get a chance to see that thing is legit.
Yeah, that's cool.
It is legit. A giant Hulk comes out and it's neat.
Smashes.
Oh, you know what I was going to say earlier?
Yeah, what's up?
So we talked, I think maybe last episode about Scott Derrickson, maybe 2 episodes ago, Scott Derrickson stepping down from Doctor Strange.
Correct.
Well, it's rumored now that Sam Raimi is taking over as the director for which phase. Well, yeah, it's weird, but he did the first Spider-Mans. He did, with Tobey Maguire. He's done a bunch of horror. He did Evil Dead. He did Drag Me to Hell, which is a super underrated horror film in my opinion. It's bizarre, but it's
I don't know that I've seen that one.
Drag Me to Hell is about that girl that gets a gypsy curse on her, and the gypsy keeps throwing up in her mouth. Literally like 4 or 5 times, just keeps falling. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
I've missed that one.
Yeah. It's an old school one. She gets this gypsy curse on her or something, and every time this gypsy woman keeps showing up and vomits all over her face. That's
enough. That's the scary movie for me right there.
That's a horrible curse. That's like
I tell you what,
Harry Potter, Ron Weasley spitting up slugs. Dude.
I tell you what, I got the best idea, man. We send people down to downtown Seattle and San Francisco without shoes on, and they make a movie about it. It'd be the worst. It would be that scene in A Quiet Place over and over and over again between the needles and the poop.
Oh man, did you read that story a long time? It was about a couple weeks back about that homeless man that threw his feces on that woman over in Los Angeles. Did you read this story?
I'm sure I browsed past. I mean, it sounds familiar, but I probably
this woman was walking by, minding her own business, and this guy had been saving up his poop, 3 buckets, full of poop.
That takes tenacity.
He just starts chunking, man. Yeah, he was dedicated. Because
just chunking at the one lady, or is he chunking at other people too?
No, this one lady.
Just one lady. Did they say why?
Listen to this. If that was he's mental. Okay. He's completely mental.
Or on meth. Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so he does this, and then she gets a disease from it.
Oh no.
Which is like the insult to the injury.
That's like the
poor
worst
woman. Yeah, it's like having a gypsy throw up in your mouth.
God.
That's where my mind went.
Oh.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, gypsy, man, homeless man throwing poop on something. Anyways, but then the woman, check this out. This is what she said.
Yeah.
She said, I'm not mad at him. I just feel sorry that he was out there. Like he's left alone. I was like, man, bless that woman. Like I would not say that about that guy.
Yeah.
So
I would
in buckets, you think somebody would know, like a police officer would be like, hey man, what are you doing with those 3 buckets? Like
it's because the cops in California and in Seattle cannot do anything. They have no ability to police. I mean, there are police officers coming out saying, I can't do my job,
Yeah, dude.
Terrible.
I've only been to San Francisco one time.
Yeah.
And the one time I went, I mean, it was beautiful. It was awesome. It's a cool place.
Yeah.
But the one time I got off a bus and there's a homeless guy screaming at us.
Oh.
And then he walks off and pees right in front of us.
Oh, that's nice.
And so, but I was kind of like, it was almost like I wanted to be like, who paid him? Like, is this a tourist? Like this
Nancy
is what they
Pelosi did.
Yeah, she's like, hey, we want everybody to have the full, Los Angeles, San Francisco treatment.
San Francisco effect. Yeah.
Go pee, pay him $20 to go pee in front of the locals. So.
Yeah, no, I went. I've only been once as well, and I was wearing a shirt very similar to this, just a Navy logo shirt, and I got called a baby killer and screamed at down the boardwalk. And that was
welcoming
fun.
Place. Here's another cool story about that.
Yeah,
we had gone to one of my friends' dad was selling shark fins at the time. Okay, sort of shady.
Nah,
so we go to this.
Seems like a legitimate business.
He's selling shark fins. So we get hooked up with this Chinese restaurant to eat shark fin soup, which is insanely expensive. I'm not sure if you know that. It's like $100 a bowl.
Yeah.
And I go, well, that's sort of weird. Okay. So we go in there and eat. Turns out a week later, that whole place is shot up by the Yakuza, right? Or is it Japanese or whatever?
Japanese is Yakuza.
Kills the guy who gave us the soup.
Wow.
And I was like, and then the guy, her dad got arrested because apparently it was illegal what he was doing. So anyways, when I look back on that trip, I think that was a weird trip, but a lot of fun, a lot of great memories, a lot of good stories. How many people have that story?
I've had poop thrown on me and pee.
Tell me that. I want to hear that.
Well, it's not really
children?
that.
It wasn't.
Well,
children,
no. I mean, I think anybody that's a parent can say that safely.
Yeah.
But no. Guantanamo Bay, Cuba.
Shut up.
You were detainee. I did 2 tours there, man.
Dude.
Yeah.
You know the secrets.
I do. All of them.
Secrets of Guantanamo.
Yes.
Well, you can't. Do you have to sign a thing when you get out?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Now you have to sign a thing before you even get there.
NSA's
basically. Yeah, remember we lost the signal like 3 shows ago?
All of a sudden it gets like, he's like, shut him down, shut Drew down.
Shut him down. But you know what? Because I'm a Manchurian candidate, it's just me. It's like...
That's right. All of a sudden there's a little red dot that appears. I'm like, no, Drew.
No, stop talking about Gitmo.
No.
Don't do it.
Go back to comics. Go back to comics.
Yeah. Just a mild-mannered... See, this is the thing, like, this is funny. Maybe this will be an entertaining story for people, but I wanted to, like, I don't have to work. So any job that I do take, if I did it would be just because I was bored and I didn't have anything else to do. So like Walmart greeter, bagger at a grocery store, that sort of thing. But I always fantasize because I live my life as if I'm in a sitcom all the time, and the monologue and the dialogue in my head and the situations that happen throughout the day are just they're worthy of a television show, and at least in my head. So but my dream was to because I have all the tattoos, and I've got the beard and the piercing now and bald, my dream was to get a job at like a Costco or a Walmart and to be like to play a role for like, I was going to do maybe for 6 months, try it out, have fun, and just experiment with it. And maybe even like film it. Like, this is my experience. And then like publish it as like a weird documentary sort of thing.
What would you call it? What's the name of that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Just
it has to have something really good to lure people in.
Like working for fun or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
like
I can do what I want.
Yeah. The Drew Show.
The Drew Show, and each episode is just you doing something random, just doing almost like a Dirty Jobs type thing, but like not dirty.
Well, like an undercover boss thing, but I'm a guy that doesn't matter in the business. Yeah. So I'm doing this whole undercover boss role, but so the role that I would want to play is I would want to be that scary veteran that is always wearing like the veteran hats and has all the tattoos and is quiet, but only says things on occasion that are like super weird and nobody knows if it's like passive aggressive or like very violent.
Dude, I love it.
And then I would just videotape and do like a video blog of each day of like what occurred for 6 months, and just for no reason I'd earn a paycheck or whatever, but for 6 months I would do this.
And at the end, here's the kicker. At the end of the episode, you're wearing a suit and you've taken off your wig or whatever you were doing, and that you call them in, and they're going, "Oh my word, he's going to give me $10,000," or they think you're the boss, and you go, "Hey, you're a horrible worker. You're fired," and you fire them right then and there. And it's like, there's no sob story. It's just like, I'm hard as can be. You're fired. Get out of here. You were sucked at your job.
Yeah. I'm not sure though entirely that you really understood what I was trying to say though, Heath. Like,
no, I know I did. I just had that idea in my head the whole time that you were going to just be mean to them.
I feel like you waited, like you didn't even listen to any part of my idea, and you just waited to tell me that part.
Yeah, you were like, you're in the job, and then you fire them.
Right. You're the wild card, man. I can't be mad at you. You're the wild card, Charlie.
Dude, here I was in this. Check out this situation. You know those situations that happen in movies or whatever, and you're not supposed to be in them, but I was in one the other day.
Yeah.
I went to Walmart. This is what triggered me. I went to Walmart and I was walking out, and it was a greeter a guy who checks your little receipt. You know
Yes,
about
I
these
know what
guys?
I know what a greeter
So
is.
this would be you in the show.
But at
right?
Walmart,
Yeah.
they have
Yeah.
those guys. That's usually
In
just for
Florida.
coming in.
In
Oh,
Florida,
Florida.
they do. They
Florida
check the
man. Yeah.
receipts. Right?
No, you're right.
So I'm leaving, and I have everything nicely bagged. I'm a little shopping cart. I pull out my receipt. I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
And the guy waves me on, and he goes, "No, you're good. You're good." Well, there's a black guy right in front of me who has 2 giant 24 cans of beer, and he goes, "I need to see your receipt. I need to see your receipt." And I'm like, dude, here we go. I'm now in the situation. And I'm thinking, I'm just like, how do I get out of the situation? Because I'm already thinking, why is he doing this?
Bro, you're on NBC, and that Hispanic dude is going to come out and ask you why you did what you did.
I know. So I just like, I think maybe I should say something. So I scoot by, and the black guy looks at him and says, why does he get to go through without showing his receipt? But I don't. And I'm sitting there going like, dude, why is this happening? I'm like, why is this happening to me? Am I on TV right now? But it turns out the guy was really nice. He said, well, you don't have anything bagged. You don't have a shopping cart. You're just holding those things in your hand. You could be, it made sense. It made sense to me. But I got in the car and I was like, should I go apologize to the guy with the beer?
To the black guy?
Yeah, I felt bad. Dude, I felt bad for no reason. I did nothing wrong.
Yeah, but see, that's what the liberals want you to do. Is they want you to feel bad for being white.
I did. I totally felt bad.
You had white guilt.
This is why we need you in the store.
Here's the thing, like you absolutely probably should have said something. I probably would have been like, hey man, I would have stuck around just to be like, hey dude, are you good? Just because I'm scared to death of being on that What Would You Do show. So I always want to do the right thing because it's going to be like the one time that I'm just like, come on, son, let's go. Let's not say anything. They're going to be like,
dude, Heath, I saw you on TV, dude. I saw that whole, and you're going to see me like real mean. And I'm like, it's not at all like I pictured it.
Sir, why are you leaving with your son? Sir, can I ask you a question?
I'm just super mean to that guy. I'm like, get out of here. Leave. Get your receipt. Yeah. Anyways, it was awful. It was a horrible situation. I did not like it. But that's what made me think of it. Now, I did listen to you. I think that would be a cool show, dude. I love that idea of just like, low key jobs and the people that don't get, that's why I love dirty jobs. People like to see hardworking people just doing normal stuff.
Yeah.
So
well, how cool could it be to do like a reality web series? But like when I would go, and I would tell my coworkers like, hey, I am here to work. Well, there's other ways I could do it. I could do like a web series of like really just discovering what it's like to work at a normal job, minimum wage type thing. But I really like my idea better of acting like a military psychopath.
Yep.
For some
Gator, get out of here.
Gator. We don't want
that.
We don't want crack.
He said, look at that. He's the dude. That's the government trying to come in. They're trying to shut us down right now. That's not Gator.
That's like Obama's administration giving the weapons to the cartel down in Mexico. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, you should just start that web series though. Like nothing's. See, that's the thing. Nothing's stopping you.
I know,
you
right?
Do it. I bet if you pitched it, people would buy it. Like if you pitched it to if you even called up Walmart and said, "Hey, I'm doing a YouTube thing," and people let you in, even if you started with mom and pop stores.
Yeah.
And just said, hey, I want to see what it's like to live a life. And I'm a crazy ex-military guy, and I'm going to come in and be freaky and freak people out. I think they'd love that.
Some people, people would like to watch it, I think. But
yeah, that's unique. That's why people check into like Jocko Willink. That's why people listen to stuff like that, because they like to hear the perspective of somebody who was in the military and now comes back out and has to, talk about, because you have a unique perspective that a huge portion of the population does not.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And I'm retired.
I have nothing. I got nothing. I'm just some guy.
I'm really concerned, Heath, about when I meet you because of the angle in which your webcam is.
Yeah.
I'm really worried that when we meet in real life, because I've always been I've been looking up like at this angle. At you with the camera, and I'm afraid that when we meet, when I'm actually, how tall are you?
I'm like 6'1".
Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, so I will be looking up this way then for forever at you.
How tall are you?
5'9".
Okay, yeah, I'm a little.
Yeah.
I'm yeah, 6'1".
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is actually the correct perspective of which you'll look to me at all
This is how
times,
I'll start holding the camera.
unless you're sitting on the floor.
Now look how tall I look.
You do. You do. I didn't realize you were that tall.
Yeah, dude.
Wow. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I
I
played
actually,
basketball.
wow.
Yeah.
I respect you a lot more now.
What can you do?
Well,
You
I
don't
mean,
know. You don't know. Height is very subjective. You don't know. You never know. Like you look at a profile
yeah.
pic,
Yeah.
like the same. Like going back to Bloomberg, full circle, Mini Mike.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
He
The
was so
dude's like
short.
5'5".
Yeah, he's tiny.
I mean,
No,
he's tiny. You
he's
have to
not
Google that.
presidential. He's not
No,
presidential. Yeah, he
no.
can't. Which is awesome that Donald likes to call him out on it.
Mini Mike. He needs a box.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, interesting about the whole talk. Did you hear this whole controversy about like Tinder and guys faking their height, and it became like a big enough thing that people were reporting about it. Like
Weird.
So apparently, if you are below 5'7" on Tinder, the percentage of getting a swipe right is like super low. So people lie on their
Weird.
Tinder profile and basically make themselves 2, 3, 4 inches taller, and then when they meet in real life, then it's this. So it's this big thing. Like I guess there was like this investigation, not investigation, but like an editorial done about it. You know, a big piece, and just interesting because you know
that has to be a girl thing though, because
well,
like
that
when
is
I
a
think
girl
about
thing.
guys, like I don't ever look at a guy and go, oh, that guy's short, or that guy's like if you're freaking tall, like if you're like 7,
Sure.
like then I'm like, okay, I'll notice that.
Sure.
But like I don't ever think about that. Like I don't think like, oh, I could beat the crap out of that guy.
Well,
because,
but you're about the average.
But girls
I mean,
do that.
5'9".
Yeah.
You know, well,
See,
actually,
but
about
I've heard
5'10" to
girls
6.
do that. I've heard
Yeah, girls
say,
do.
oh, I don't want to date some guy smaller than me, or I don't want to date.
Yeah, that's a huge thing, I guess.
Yeah, that's a huge thing.
Yeah, I mean, literally,
dance.
quite literally, a huge,
literally a height thing.
Huge.
I went to a dance with a girl in high school. She asked me to go to the dance with her, and I thought she liked me. Nope. And she made it very clear. She said, I said, well, that's so cool you're asking me. And she said, well, you're the only person as tall as I am. So it's like, because she was huge. She had scoliosis. So she was very tall, and I've been 6'1" since I was like 12 or 13. Like I've been huge. Wow. So she only asked me because of that. Then we get there, we dance once, and she bails. And I'm left alone. Now, this is the third time this has happened in high school for me.
What?
Girls would ask me to dances, and then they would dance me once, and then they'd go off with like their secret boyfriend,
wow,
like this, bad boy that their parents didn't know. Because I was always a good guy, a nice guy.
Sure, yeah.
And so the parents were like, they'd take pictures with me, and then they'd be like, all right, Heath, we'll see you at the end of the night. I'm like, all right. But I'm fine with that. Yeah, I was like, no, but I hate dances, so I was fine with that. I was like, all right, sweet. I'll just go eat all the delicious food.
Yeah, it makes sense. That's funny, man.
Drink this punch bowl. Yeah.
Well, I don't I don't read a lot of books, but I did get really hooked on Malcolm Gladwell. Have you heard of him before? The author?
No.
He's written Freakonomics and Tipping Point.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yes, he's a super like.
Yeah, she wasn't nice, Gator.
He's one of those type of guys that like his perspective on things and how they happen is very, very interesting, and he puts things together with data and he did a whole chapter on height and how if you were to look at there is a connection between the highest paid people in the United States, the top CEOs of these big corporations, and their height, and he brings this whole concept together about how height, even going back to like biblical, like how Saul was the tallest, and the only reason that Israel wanted him as king is because he stood, head and shoulders above everybody else. So,
well, your average Jew, like the Jewish people, were like 5'4", like they're still very short people and stuff.
Right,
dude. I believe there's, if you live long enough, there's a system for everything, and the way our minds work, like the way we compute things and the way we put things into boxes and categories. I believe that 100%.
Yeah, like
there's stuff that is built into me where I'm like, I can look at certain people and go, that dude's a businessman. That guy works here.
Oh,
guy,
sure.
I mean, you can even, and I'm sure you can do this. You can look at people and go military.
Oh yeah.
I mean, people have a certain way of living or acting when you've been living in a certain tribe or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Even the way you dress and stuff. That's why people who are the freaks or people who are, the wild cards, those are the guys that are in that system, but they don't look like they're in that system,
Right.
So
yeah,
Freakonomics, I got to read it. People have told me that's a great book. But.
Yeah, and well, he's done an abridged version too, so it's been so that one and Tipping Point are really really good. Highly recommend.
Dude, there's a guy sort of like that. This guy named Jonathan Haidt, who is he's been on Joe Rogan show, and he has that book called The Coddling of the American Mind. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Oh no.
But he talks about this on the Joe Rogan show, and this is sort of in the same thing. But he talks about how, do you remember when you were growing up, like nobody had peanut allergies?
Yeah.
Like I don't remember any of my friends.
No, never.
But it's
I remember like one kid.
Yeah, maybe
in
one
school,
kid.
And it was and he was the weird one. He had a peanut allergy and he was strange.
Yeah. But he talks about in the book, they did this test where there's a whole bunch of pregnant women where they give a placebo and then a whole bunch of pregnant women where they give a light dusting of peanuts. Okay. And these are women who have horrible allergies to things. Okay. So the people who had the horrible allergies to peanuts ate the light dusting of peanuts, and their kids came out, 95% of them, no allergies, no peanut allergy. But the placebo group, their kids came out and like 45% had no allergies, but it was a massively thing. And so he was saying there are things that we've told pregnant people and that we've told ourselves to stop eating. And because we've done that, we've actually hurt ourselves. Sort of like in Florida, there's like this guy who gave himself snake venom.
Yeah.
He used to inject himself with snake, and he was like immune to all snakes.
Yeah.
Okay? But and that's what we've done. We've told ourselves, stop eating peanuts, stop eating that stuff. And we've basically developed these horrible allergies because we've stopped doing something that we should have stopped. So,
well, I mean, it's the same thing.
It's
the exact same thing that's going to happen with vaccines. I mean, it's the same exact problem. And, I don't care what anybody says. There's not enough science to convince me otherwise about vaccines. And
dude, this coronavirus thing has legs too, man. When it first came out, people were joking around about it. And I keep telling people, I say, seriously, we're on the tip of the iceberg on this thing. Like, I seriously think it's because there was that Diamond Cruise Line with all those people on it. Now there's like 400 something people infected on the cruise. And one guy was like, it was a petri dish. They were forcing us to stay on this cruise line, and we all kept getting more and more infected. So I'm telling you, man, until we develop something to stop this, like that coronavirus is going to keep.
I think it's a bioweapon, man.
Could be.
I really do. I think
we talked about that. Like if it was China or if it was something, it's crippling them right now.
Well, I mean, look, the meme, there's a lot of truth to those memes that people put out there. And, there's the one where it says 2 weeks before the coronavirus, and you see all these people protesting in Hong Kong. And then all of a sudden, 2 weeks after, the streets are empty. And now the world is, concerned about that. So I think,
it's nasty, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, not a huge conspiracy guy. I'm not on the level of Rogan by any means, but I do think that there's always more stuff behind the scenes than we ever know. And I don't.
The frog was gay.
Yeah, and I don't say that because I was in the military and I know stuff. That's not the case.
I would never spill the information.
It's definitely not because I know things from the military. I mean, God, why would anybody say that?
Why would I say that? Why would I even joke around like that? It's so silly.
Dumb. Yeah. Anyway. So
that's good.
No, man, but retired life is good. I really I got this idea for this children's book. I want to. There's just a lot of things that I just kind of want to do, and I have freedom to do it now. And it's super weird. We do want to build a house, though. We're talking about. Have you seen? Are you familiar with barn dominiums? Have you seen those barn houses? So we are. Probably about 95%. Drew is always the guy that knows it all. I am not that guy. I am not. And look,
very little.
I know very little. And Gator, the fact is, you can be a know-it-all, or you can just be a guy that's well educated. And I'd like to consider myself to be a nice, fine glass of
Philosopher King.
Velociraptors. Anyway. What was I saying?
That's what we should call the podcast, Velociraptors, and we're and we just pretend like we're velociraptors.
I feel like
and
we
we
missed a
have
real
smoke
opportunity
pipes.
there.
Yeah, it's a real opportunity, but somebody else
Yeah.
can have it now. It's out in the cosmos. So
Yeah. What was
we
I
put it
talking
out
about?
there. Oh man, velociraptors.
Right before that, I was talking about something about me.
Children's book. You're talking about all the stuff you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there was
You got all
something
this
else
time
there.
now.
Oh, the barn dominium
Yeah,
house. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
we're about 90% sure that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna
Dude,
start
it's
looking for
awesome.
land. Yeah.
We're
I
building
mean,
right now. My wife and I are building a house right now.
oh,
And
nice.
it's slow. It's super slow going, but it's
Yeah.
cool. Like you get to pick what you want. And I know this old couple that built a barn dominium.
Mm.
I went to their yard sale and they're like, oh yeah, we're going to destroy the house and build it. And so I drove past it. They're building it. It looks awesome too. It's just giant. I mean, it's hilarious because you're in this neighborhood of these gorgeous little, kind of cookie cutter houses. And then there's a barn right there.
Yeah.
Smack dab in the middle.
They're so cool, man.
Awesome.
And they're very roomy. It's perfect for the comic book shop and the amount of my she shed. Yeah.
She shed.
But there's a lot of room for having a shop and putting the RV in there and having it, not having to store it at a place. And really, I mean, the insides are gorgeous. You can make it whatever you want.
Yeah, it's huge, spacious.
Yeah. And it's energy efficient and it's super cheap to build.
Yeah.
The kits themselves go from anywhere from like $40,000 to $105,000.
They've just started down here in my neck of the woods in Florida. They're doing the 3D printed houses. I don't know if you've seen that, but it is so cool. They bring out a little machine and it's straight up, this robot spits out like cement and it just 3D prints your house with cement, like building materials.
That's intense.
They're crazy cheap. It's like $40,000 for a house.
What?
And they're really nice. I mean, but they're like cement. So
yeah,
but that's cool to me. I mean, the thought of that.
That's energy efficient too, though. Cement.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these really nice stained cement, and are very well insulated.
Yeah.
Great for pets and kids and cleaning and.
Florida, I mean, Florida's so temperate. Like, something like that wouldn't work in a really snowy place, probably because of, But with Florida, it's like
they do insulate. They do insulate them, but yeah, I mean, they're starting to build some out here. My uncle, my wife's uncle, builds these type of houses. So so we'll see. But cool, that's kind of exciting. Yeah.
Hey, real quick of comic news. Batman '89.
Yes.
I know that's the hot one right now. But dude, I'm predicting that Punchline is going to end up being like. Just nothing.
Insignificant.
Yeah. I mean, so when you showed that picture of Punchline's nose or whatever it was,
right?
Like, I think if anything, Hell Arisen 3 is going to be the one to get.
Yeah.
And even then, people are predicting that she dies. Like they kill her off pretty early on. So I'll be interested to see, but. So I'm just saying. For
people who are having no idea what we're talking about right now, Punchline, there's a new Joker's got a new girl in the Batman run, and it's Punchline. We don't know much about her right now, other than she had a cameo in Batman '89, which actually releases tomorrow. But I got the books early, and I posted the cameo as a spoiler on the Sanctuary of Heroes page, so you can go look at it if you want to. It's not really a big deal. But I agree, and in fact, I think that the Punchline is actually going to be the guys that are spending big bucks on this book. That is
that's right.
That's silly, And hey, you make a couple bucks, great job, but you're going to be the Punchline.
Here's the thing: if you've been in comics long enough, and even if you're just let's say you're not even a comic fan, you're just a movie fan or something like that.
Sure.
It's really hard to get a new character that takes off.
Yeah.
Like even Miles Morales. Okay, I have the first issue of Miles Morales, Ultimate Spider-Man, whatever.
Yeah.
And at the time, you could get those off the shelf.
Yeah.
I could have bought 10 or 20 of them. Nobody cared about Miles Morales. But it's taken 10 years for people to care about Miles Morales. Okay.
Right.
Now, I mean, I didn't care about it. I bought it just to have it. And now I have it. I'm like, cool. But after you see Spider-Man, the new one, enter what is Spider-Verse, whatever. That's phenomenal. I mean, a great film.
All right.
And so now you're like, okay, I care a lot about same thing with Spider-Gwen. Like nobody knew that was going to blow up at the time. I mean, there was a little bit more than Miles, but you know.
I was hoping that Spider-Man Noir was going to blow up more. He was actually my favorite character
I know.
of the
And I
Spider-Verse.
love him in the I don't know if you ever played the video game one where it's like all the different universes and stuff, the
I
Spider-Man game.
did, yes, it was
Yes,
fantastic.
his missions are like some of the best
Shattered,
missions.
what is
Shattered
Spider-Man?
Dimensions.
Shattered Dimensions. Yeah, it's with
Yeah.
Mysterio. Great game.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game. And so and those were like my favorite missions. So I was sitting there
Yeah.
like, man, this is such a cool character. I mean, having Nicolas Cage playing, I was like, so I'm surprised he hasn't taken off more. So you never know, but Punchline right now DC is hurting.
Yeah.
And I don't think Punchline's the thing that's going to blow up.
I don't think it's going to take
Yeah.
a new character to blow up because I mean Naomi was really really hot and it didn't really do much. So
I know.
it
DC
what
needs
it's
something, man. I feel sorry for him, but they need something.
DC needs a good movie. That's what's driving the market right now, and that's the fact that Marvel's doing better, and that's why Image and other markets are doing better too. All these indie guys because they're selling their stories to Netflix and Amazon, and
hold on, my computer's dying. I gotta plug it in real fast.
Go ahead, yeah. So I'll just say I'll give the final word here anyway. So what I was saying is that indie books are successful. Marvel books are successful because Marvel is doing well in the movies. Indie books are selling. The Boys, did fantastic on Amazon Prime, and that every comic book show that comes out that does well, it opens the door for another comic book show to come out. So I think that's DC just needs to get on board and say we have to put our guys. We need character consistency. We need writer consistency. And we need a spearhead that is supposed to bring us all on the same page.
Yeah, they need to slow down. They tried too fast. I mean, the new even the new Batman, like with Robert Pattinson,
way
like
too fast.
I thought the reveal looked kind of cool.
Yeah.
But then I started reading more, and he's like, "Oh yeah, the metal in his chest is the guns that killed his parents." And I'm like, you guys are missing it. You're missing it again. Like, it's not about the intricacies of his suit. It's about, do I care about what he's doing? We know that Bruce and Martha. We know that Thomas and Martha die. Like we've seen that 1,000 times. Now make a good movie.
And why even? I don't know why rebooting it again. I mean, you don't need to. Only reboot it if you're going to start doing something consistent. Then a reboot's necessary, and that's that was my hope with James Gunn doing Suicide Squad 2, or it's not even Suicide Squad 2, it's just Suicide Squad. But they're already rebooting a movie that came out 5 years ago.
They have to, dude. They keep failing.
Well,
I mean,
it was terrible.
I know.
Anyways. It was terrible, but I don't know. Listen to the fans, maybe. I don't know. Maybe one of us has a good idea. Maybe those of us that keep saying things over and over and over again about the genre, maybe we're onto something because we're the ones spending money.
Case in point, Sonic. They
absolutely
listened to the fans. They said we're going to redo it. They reboot it. It's the highest grossing video game movie of all time now.
I even said that I don't care if the movie bombs. I would still support it because of what the network did.
Yeah. And I heard it's good. It's good.
I've actually heard it's good too.
I mean, it whooped Harley Quinn in the first weekend. I mean, so it's just embarrassing that they're not. I mean, these studios keep going, well, the fans don't know what they're talking about. They don't know. It's like, no. Maybe you should actually make a movie they want to see. I mean, not to an extreme, but like just follow some sort of path. Don't. Anyways,
it's like when Suicide Squad first came out and everybody was like super excited about Harley and what's her name playing her, and so everybody was like, Margot Robbie, everybody's super excited about her playing it, and so like that she became the hype about the movie, and then it's as if DC heard, oh man, Harley's hot right now, let's just make a Harley movie, and they're like, and what's a good Harley story? Birds of Prey. We did a TV show about it a long time ago with Shannon Doherty and somebody else, and whatever. And so it just feels unnecessary. I would love to see Margot continue to play Harley though, and so I'm a fan of that. She did a good enough job. She did very well in Suicide Squad as Harley. She did very well giving depth to the character in Birds of Prey. So if you can keep her in there, then by all means, let's do that.
I agree.
but they won't because they're DC
Nope.
and they're
They'll
Warner
reboot.
Brothers.
Well,
Yeah.
if I were Margot Robbie, I'd probably be running as fast as I
I'd get
could.
out now. Yeah,
I'd get
absolutely.
out. I'd get out quick.
Yeah.
Sadly.
But I will say I'm very excited about Deadshot or Bloodshot. Bloodshot.
Yeah, that looks fun.
That does look
I like
really
Vin
good.
Diesel.
Yeah.
I think he has a good chance to make something fun with that.
It was literally written for Vin Diesel, man. That's the role he's been playing with Triple X and everything else for the last, 20 years.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
it's perfect. And he he's a little bit more buff than Bloodshot actually was, but
And if that does well, that could be a huge.
yeah.
I mean, we could get Valiant stuff going. We'll see. You know what
Bro.
I mean? But it could open up a whole new market.
Well, and what a lot of people don't realize is that all of Valiant's characters take place in the same universe. Every single Valiant character is in the Valiant universe. So they all
what? Gator, is it out?
It's not out. He's trolling us.
He's trolling us.
Gator said he's got Bloodshot. It wasn't good. It doesn't come out until May, I think. Gator's that's just Gator.
Oh,
but
you have the first review right here.
Yeah.
Doesn't bode well. if Gator doesn't like it, I mean, not gonna be good. So.
Not going to be a huge Filipino market. Sorry for Bloodshot. Sorry, guys. If it was Manny Pacquiao, if Manny Pacquiao did Bloodshot, everybody would see the movie.
See, now I'm starting to believe it because he's like, I saw the advanced screen. It's like,
I don't believe him. I don't believe him. I don't believe him for a second. He's consistently lied to my face.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, well, hey, that'll do it. We're at an hour. We're not going to go too much longer, so thanks guys for coming out and joining us on this Tuesday night. This will be up and available to listen on audio only if you want to just listen to it, or if you want to watch it again, it'll be live on YouTube or Facebook tomorrow. It'll go live and it'll be a premiere video, and you can come watch it and comment and do all that stuff. So
very good.
All right. Well, you guys take care. God bless. We see you later on the internets, and have a good one. We're out.
Long.
Farewell.
I always feel like